Here we are in London, one of the biggest cities in the world, for one of the biggest events in the world.
Yes, Seth, it's certainly going to be an exciting one. After years of preparation, London is finally ready to welcome the world to the 2012 Olympic Games.
Such a magnificent city, so many views with the Thames stretching away into the distance, and with so many new venues waiting to be tested, this really could be the best Games ever. The Olympic Stadium's splendid, glowing like a beacon here in London's East End.
And there, the Olympic torch, the iconic symbol of the Games, shining over the city of London. What an absolutely beautiful sight.
So many nations represented here, all ready to compete in true Olympic spirit.
Yes, 80,000 people they're expecting in that stadium, and it's going to be full to the brim. Not a spare seat in the house. Just imagine the excitement down there in the crowd.
Fireworks to show the start of these games, and the first event is first thing tomorrow. Well, the conditions are absolutely primed for some long-distance jumping here. It's the triple jump, and I think these athletes are going to be inspired by this crowd. The Olympic Games always has a habit of making superstars, and there's no reason why this athlete can't be the story of this Games. Well, I'm sure there are plenty of butterflies. This is this athlete's first time at the Olympic Games. What's he got in store here? Completely lost momentum here.
15.56.
Here's the replay. Seventh at this stage, not a great performance, I'm afraid to say. Got to pick it up here.
The athlete from Poland.
Here we go in the latest round of the triple jump. Well, obviously the nerves are at an absolute premium here. 8th place, and I think that probably tells the story of the performance.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Round number 3. Well, you must hit the board on takeoff, otherwise you're never going to get the maximum distance. If you were to break this one down as we look at the replay, a bit too slow on the runway and failed to really take momentum into the pit. If you take off before the board, you're giving away real estate, and nobody wants to do that.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
This is round number 5 then. Hits the board early there.
Of 16.3.
Let's take a look at that replay. Here's another check at the scoreboard in the triple jump. Last chance saloon, 6th and final attempt. Forgettable. That was a forgettable performance. As we can see here, a lack of speed and then a lack of technique equals a lack of distance. Thoroughly fed up, understandably so. That performance was nowhere near this athlete's best, and I don't really understand why.
17.61. Second, China with a distance of 17.50. Third, Kenya with a distance of 17.50.
Here we go with the 3 meters springboard. This is all about the routine and the execution of that routine. Who's going to impress the judges? Well, let's have a look at the start list then. Well, the athlete probably knows what dive's needed here, just needs to let the judges know. Look good with a high spring. Let's have a look at the replay. Here's the replay. Well, how do the judges rate this performance? Well, let's see how that last dive affects the current scoreboard. Well, needs to improve on the difficulty levels here. This is a relatively tough dive. It's not the most difficult in the competition, but one that, if achieved well, then the points reward is there. Very pleasing from the Polish athlete, that last dive. Very, very good. Well, here are the results then coming in now. Well, another look at the scoreboard, and this is the impact that last dive has had. Needs to score well with this dive. This is number 3. Well, that's a good choice. That's a good dive from Poland. Very satisfying to watch that. Here's the replay of that. Let's have a look what the judges have to say. Well, that score won't move the athletes into the top three. So many options to go for. Well, this is a fairly ambitious choice and could leave her with a good score. Well, you can't help but sit back and admire that effort. That's a very good dive. Well, here's the replay. Well, what about the judges? What's their view on all of this? So a fourth position on the scoreboard for this athlete after that round. A respectable position, but I'm sure the athlete's wanting better than that. A number of options that the diver can take. Is it going to be the case of pushing herself, or will it be a case of playing safe? Not massively difficult, this dive. The start was good, but the end was poor. Here's the replay. Well, let's see what the judges made of that. So much hard work poured into this event, and then to miss out on a medal, well, it must be absolutely gutting. Well, let's take a final check then at the scoreboard. And there'll be no place in the final for this athlete who finishes outside the top four. Well, plenty of crowd support here. They're all ready to get this event underway. Let's have a look at the lane allocations then for this qualification round. How strong will this athlete be? And away we go. The 25-metre mark approaches into their stroke pattern at 25 metres. Closing in on a top three place at the turn. The kick's weak. China are in first place. Finland are second. Poland are in third place. And now the muscles start to hurt as we enter the final 25 metres. We're entering the final 10 metres, so close to the line as they touch now. Well, all the athletes off the blocks at the same time and then moving through the field. A strong middle section. It came down to the final 25 metres. Keep your eye on this athlete, though, for the future. I'm sure the best is still to come. This is confirmed, then, the leaderboard. Good news as this athlete finishes in third place. That means qualification for the final. Welcome to the Olympic Stadium. This is the qualifying rounds of the men's 200 metres. And there's no reason why we can't see a world record here. The track has been fast so far. Every Olympics has a superstar, and there's every chance that this athlete could be the face of London 2012. The athletes take to the blocks.
Set.
Good start. Needs to work harder to reach the leaders. 50 metres gone and already in stride. Approaching halfway. France are in first place. Into the final stages of the 200. Poland qualify in first place. France in second. And Canada in third make their way through to the final. Well, that was a good performance to make his way through to the final. The question is now, can he win a medal? Well, here's the replay then. A magnificent performance from start to finish. Looks so smooth all the way down. Power and grace as he headed towards the line. A fantastic, fantastic race. Here's the confirmation as we take a look at the final standings. Well, great news as we look at the scoreboard, and qualification assured with a first place finish. 4 years of preparations since Beijing, and these athletes now must be ready. Any injuries, any doubts must be shoved clear from their mind. The Polish athletes have received good support all the way through this Olympic Games. Today's no different. There's a real opportunity to finish in the top three. She's got the crowd pumped up here, blowing kisses, quite right. Here we go then, the athletes are ready. As they emerge from the water, we see the early leaders. Quarter of the way through this event, and already the early leaders start to take hold. Well, just not enough power in those strokes to see this athlete get into the top three. And that's a strong push as the athletes come towards the surface. It's very close at the front. In first place, China. Second, Finland. Holding on to third place, Poland. Just over 25 metres to go, and you can throw a towel over these. Lactic acid kicking in as now they touch. Goal for Poland! It's silver for China. So many things to like about this performance. In replay, you just see the power of this athlete, stroking so well, and that's why they were able to put in such a terrific time. The leaderboard doesn't lie. Let's take a look to see who's celebrating and who's commiserating. Finishing first, a gold medal for Poland. China has a tradition of success, and that continues. A really good showing in this event, and another gold medal. Gold for Finland. Cool, calm and collected. They came, they played, they conquered. Stadium rises here to salute three fine competitors, fully deserving of the accolades that they're receiving. Well, what a day it's been, and quite rightly, enjoying every moment, soaking in the atmosphere here. These are memories that will live long for these athletes. And to take home a medal from an Olympic Games is a dream moment. Let's have a quick glance at the medal standings. This is the Olympic Stadium, one of the most ecologically sound structures in the whole of world athletics. This stadium really is state-of-the-art. 80,000 in capacity and beautiful on the eye. The experts will tell you that Poland are unlikely to finish in the top three in this event. However, this athlete has improved greatly in recent months. Focus.
Set.
We're off, we're underway, and that's a really good start. Needs to improve on this position. Halfway round the bend, and we're starting to see the break of the blocks. The leader, France. In second place, Jamaica. Into the final 25. Gold for France, what a performance. Canada finish with silver. Jamaica take bronze. Well, I know there'll be some disappointment shared by many on that performance. There were some signs of greatness, but it's not been achieved this time. Keep your eye on this athlete, though, for the future. I'm sure the best is still to come. France take gold. Well earned, well deserved. Congratulations. A second-place finish for Canada. That means a silver medal. And a bronze medal for Jamaica. Let's round things up then with a quick glance at the medal table. That's the end of the events for today, and now it's time to look ahead towards tomorrow, when we'll have a series of new Olympic champions. It's a terrific atmosphere, and this really should bring the best out of these athletes. The Olympic Games always has a habit of making superstars, and there's no reason why this athlete can't be the story of this Games. Three laps of the track to go then, and position at this stage not vital. The front runner is France. This is an impressive performance. Good pace this from China, have a real chance of winning. Really is hustling down the back straight. Well, there's plenty of rubbing, and rubbing is racing. The bell will ring. Onto the final straight. Is there one last blast? France are in first place, China in second. Well, trying all sorts. Is that going to be the winning line going into the home straight? France will qualify in first place. China go through in second place. Into the final in third, it's Poland. Well, let's take a check on the official results then following that race. Good performance that to make it through to the final in the face of some extremely tough competition. Welcome to this beautiful Olympic stadium built specifically for these games. This really is the jewel of the crown. Absolutely sold out. What a venue this is. Every Olympics has a superstar, and there's every chance that this athlete could be the face of London 2012. A knowledgeable hush descends.
Set.
That's a good positive start from this athlete. Really needs to start moving quicker. A race that's all about strategy. You can get it wrong in the first quarter. Needs to work harder. Can do better than this. Well, this race really starting to take shape as they approach halfway. Entering the bend, this is the halfway point. Australia are in first. France in second, New Zealand in third place. Opening that stride up round the bend and now into the final home straight. Approaching the end of this race. All the effort into the final stages. Driving towards the line now. France qualify in first place. Poland go through in second. Australia move on in third place. Having negotiated that hurdle to make it through to the final, this athlete becomes a genuine contender. Well, that was a good performance from this athlete. There will be those who say it could have been better, but surely it's worthy of celebration. These are the final standings. Let's take a look at the scoreboard then, and it's good news. Qualification in second place. Welcome along then. Next event on the track is the final of the men's keirin over 2,000 metres. These 6 riders will race, and then it will come down to who tactically has the guts to go at the right time, and then the power to win the sprint finish. Medals on the line here then. Let's take a look at the starters. What an atmosphere in this place, and this athlete really is showing their best qualities. 3 laps of the track to go then. France out in front and in control here. Got to be careful not to use too much energy up here. Under 500 metres to go. Well, into the final 300 metres. Now down to the sprint finish. This is really being wound up. This is going to be a quick race. In the lead, France. Second, China. Still moving well off the seat and starting to sprint as we go into the final bend. China take gold. France in second. Bronze for Poland. One last look at the final standings then, and China, confirmation here, they win the gold medal. Not quite good enough for top spots, but still something to be proud of. France finishing second and take home the silver medal. Well, that's third for Poland. They'll be happy to take home bronze from the 2012 Games. This is a really proud moment for this athlete. All of those years of hard work, the early mornings, the late nights, the stamina sessions, and all for today. Family and friends and the nation rise as one, as now we crown a new Olympic champion. Well, this place is rocking, and quite rightly so. The sheer joy and ecstasy on his face tells you everything you need to know about how much winning a medal at the Olympics really means. It has been a quite brilliant day, a historic day as well, and congratulations to all who take home a medal here. Here we go then, the 400 metres is the next event to take centre stage here. One lap of this Olympic stadium is all these sprinters are looking to achieve. A new world record is possible here. The experts will tell you that Poland are unlikely to finish in the top three in this event. However, this athlete has improved greatly in recent months. She looks like she's enjoying this. Who wouldn't though? Well, this is the moment they're all waiting for.
Set.
Way too early, just leapt out of the blocks there, and she'll be massively disappointed. Well, the nerves really will be jangling after that false start. Clean getaway in the 400 metres final. Not what this athlete was hoping for. Approaching full pace. Needs to be better at this stage. The halfway point fast approaching here. Now's the time for these athletes to really make their move. Still 200 metres to go. Needs to keep some in reserve. In first place, Australia. Entering the home straight. A quarter of the race still to go. This is a close race going into the final stages of the 400 metres. It's going to come down to the finish on the line. France take gold. Silver for Australia. Romania take the bronze medal. Well, this athlete never really reached the highs all the way through this race. There were moments when you thought that all of a sudden it was going to turn around and they were going to be in with a chance of a medal, but in the end just petered out. Second place and silver for Australia, matching the achievements of 4 years ago in Beijing. A good performance, but in the end not able to become the new Olympic champion. And in third, a bronze for Romania. Well, the search has been for an Olympic champion, and that search will continue. From Seth Bennett, we'll see you next time. Table tennis taking centre stage then as we look forward to this, as do a capacity crowd. This should be a great matchup. Today it's Poland against the USA. Coverage of the table tennis next, and your commentator is Alison Kirbishley.
Thanks, Seth. Well, there's the confirmation then of who's going to be going head-to-head in this match. Well, he seemed a long way out of position there. There was just no way he was going to return it.
0-1.
Oof, point lost there. He just couldn't return it successfully.
Of America to serve. 2-0.
Pressure's really building. His opponent's error forced, and he'll take the point for that. So the rally really starting to take shape. Backhand to keep the rally going.
Poland to serve. 2-2.
He whacks the brakes on the ball with a backspin. Oh, agonising for him. Just missed out on the point there.
2-3.
He's really piling on the pressure now. What good approach play there to win him the point.
To serve. 3-3.
Looking to force the errors. Backhand certainly causing problems there. Playing on the backhand. Well, he really won't be happy with that. He loses the point there with that play. Well, he really is making great use of the table there. He wins the point with a shot down the line. Oh, he's just starting to frustrate his opponent that little bit more. He takes the point and he's building in confidence.
5-4.
He just couldn't handle it there. He needs to really focus more now.
America to serve. 5-5.
Oh, that really is a great point one. He has to take confidence from that. We're on game point now. Surely he's going to take it with his serve. Crowd starting to get into the game as the rally starts building. Awesome defence from both players with this rally. Both players really fighting for the point there, but keeping the rally alive. Well, here we go with the first serve in the second game now. Well, some great play out there on the table. He takes the point, and I'm sure he takes a lot of confidence from that as well.
1-0.
They're piling the pressure on. They take the point. Where can they go from here?
Of America to serve. 0-2.
Good work for the point. Good use of the table.
0-3.
He's really piling on the pressure now. It's another point one, and it's developing into a good lead.
Poland to serve. 4-0.
Oh, he just couldn't handle it there. He didn't have the answers.
4-1.
Well, you really can see confidence starting to build now. After another point added to the table, it's a big lead.
1-5.
A superb display of technique there. Down the line the ball goes, and he wins the point for that.
1-6.
Well, that ball straight down the line will cost him a point. He's got to learn how to cover those.
Match point. Poland to serve. 6-2.
Rally starting to build. Absolutely no room for a loss of concentration now. So there we have it then. This match ends, and what a victory. He takes it 2-0. Well, thanks very much for joining me, Alison Kirbishley. Over to Seth Bennett now, who will wrap up all the results from today's event.
Thanks, Alison. Time now to get confirmation of what we've just seen. These are the final standings. It looked for a moment like maybe, just maybe, he would lose out. But the confirmation is there for all to see in the final scoreboard. A first-place finish and progression. Hello and welcome. The next event here at the North Greenwich Arena is the men's trampoline. Let's see who's bouncing for glory. Trampoline only has a short history in the games, and having made its first appearance in 2000 in Sydney, trampolining is now very much part of the fixtures and fittings. 3 times men have competed in this event, and there's been 3 different winners.
Well, they're very much sticking to their comfort zone. This athlete's gone for the easy option on the trampoline. This has to be done well. Oh, really showing us a high skill level out there. Delivers the straight perfectly. Great precision with the Barani. Well, he's doing really well on the trampoline. Oh, I'm sure the judges are going to like that twist. Oh, absolutely amazing. Oh, come on, we really need to see the routine now. Well, what a finish to that trick. Well, let's get a recap on that one now. Here's the replay. I wonder how the judges are going to score this one now. Well, there's absolutely no doubting that this athlete is certainly happy with their performance out there today. Well, thanks for joining us. Time now to hand back over to Seth Bennett, who'll wrap up all the action.
Good stuff, Alison, thank you. Well, here are the final results then, and it's confirmation. Second place finish then, and the athletes through to the final on that performance qualification. The Excel London is no stranger to sporting drama, having hosted world title boxing. However, at these games, it will host a number of different sports. Next, Poland versus China. Here we go with the next event, and watching for us, Alison Kirbishley.
Thanks, Seth. Well, it looks like the athletes are just about ready to go, and just judging by the noise, I'm sure the crowd are ready for the action.
To serve. 0-0.
Pressure's really starting to build now. Shot went straight down the line and he just couldn't return it. Slows the rally down with a backspin. Well, he was simply just not good enough there. And he's going to lose the point on that one.
2-0. 3-0.
His confidence must be taking a battering. It's another point lost, and he's really falling behind here.
Poland to serve. 0-4.
Well, he did really well there to force his opponent's error. He'll take the point with that. They're really showing great play there and quite rightly take the point.
China to serve. 4-2.
Oh, he wanted that, didn't he? He'll be pleased with the point.
4-3.
So the rally's starting to take shape. Struck that beautifully on the backhand side. Well, he really needs to dig deep and find some confidence now because he's starting to trail in this game.
Poland to serve. 3-5.
Absolutely fantastic play on court today. The crowd are on their feet with that point won. No speed lost on the ball there with the backhand. And it's the forehand back over the net. Beautiful technique with the backhand there. Forehand keeps the game in play. Gets right across the table with the forehand. Backhand across the net. Well, a point lost there, but this really is nail-biting stuff. What a tight match we've got on our hands.
6-4.
Rally starting to build. Both players really matching each other now with this rally. Wow, this is a really long rally now. Well, I'm not sure his opponent is enjoying it as much as the crowd are, but he will take the confidence from that point. This rally really starting to take shape now. Neither player prepared to give an inch on this rally. What an incredible rally. The crowd are really loving this. Well, some great technique on display, and the point is quite rightly his after that.
6-6.
Using his backhand shot. Well, his opponent really has lifted the level of play there. He's just not good enough.
China to serve. 7-6.
Well, game one complete now. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. It really could get interesting from here. Well, it could be a pivotal serve here as we start the second game now. Oh, after that mistake, he really does look to the team bench for some answers.
0-1.
Well, his opponent was just simply too good for him there, and he'll lose the point.
2-0.
So the rally's starting to take shape. Oh, that backhand, what a joy to watch.
2-1.
The crowd go wild and they respond. What a point won.
Poland to serve. 2-2. 2-3.
Well, forces his opponent's error there. He quite rightly takes the point for that.
3.
This rally really starting to take shape now. Just places the ball with the backhand.
3-4.
Looking to force the errors. Brings the backhand shot into play. Mixes up the rally with his backspin shot.
Poland to serve. 4-4.
Oh, he loses the point. He just simply wasn't good enough there.
4-5.
That's a point lost, and he's got to be careful. He doesn't want this game to slip away from him.
China to serve. 6-4.
Crowd starting to get into the game as the rally starts building. Really can't afford to lose any focus now with this rally. So that's the end of the game, and of course it's the end of the match. And he takes the victory, 2-0. Well, that's all we have time for from here. Now over to Seth Bennett.
Alison, thank you for the moments. These are the final standings. One last look at the final standings then, and China, confirmation here, they win the gold medal. The flags of success fly high over the stadium. And these moments will be captured and will be on the front pages of the papers in the morning. Terrific performances rewarded with gold, silver and bronze. Let's have a glance at who's where in the overall medal tally. The next event is the men's trampoline.
The next event is the final of men's trampoline.
There's going to be plenty of competition here. These athletes equally matched. Not much between them at all.
Representing Poland.
Well, thanks, Seth. Absolutely no room for error. They only get one chance in this event, so selection of the routine is vital. This really could be his day. Really performs on the straight. Well, that's got to help the points total. Oh, that is a twist to shout about. Oh, showing great technique there. Great work with the routine there. Oh, superb. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see that one again. Here's the replay. Now time for the judges' scores. What will they make of it?
Poland with a score of 36.80.
Well, in the end, it was a good, solid performance from him, and he's happy. Just look at the celebration. So time now to hand back over to Seth Bennett.
That's all from Alison. Another brilliant final that we've enjoyed here at the London 2012 Games. Gold for Australia, a superb performance. A really strong performance from Poland. Second place, a silver medal. Well, congratulations must go out to the British athletes. A bronze medal, third place, well deserved. The crowd enjoyed that, and after all the hard work these athletes put in, I'm sure they enjoyed their moment in the spotlight as well. Been a terrific day and some great performances, thoroughly enjoyable. Let's see who's got what then in terms of medals. This is the final tally. Well, that concludes things for the day. No more events remain in this session. From Seth Bennett, we'll see you next time. Hello and welcome to the Aquatic Centre. What a stunning venue this is. The next event in the pool is the qualifying rounds of the men's 100 metres butterfly. Some of the greatest names to ever take to the pool have competed at the Olympics in the men's 100 metres. One of the most unexpected winners came from Suriname. All the athletes take to their blocks. And they're off, they're underway. Race starting to take shape as we reach the quarter point. Still some distance to go, but at 25 metres, the early leaders in control. So nearly halfway, and it could be better for this athlete. He reaches the turn and pushes off. Brazil lead here. Ukraine, second place. France in third place. Into the final 25 metres. Final stages now. Ukraine finish first and go to the final. Brazil move on to the final in second. Poland qualify in fourth place. The only thing you can say about that performance is that it was average. It was an average entry into the water. They have an average stroke, and in the end, an average result. Really not the best. Well, these are the final standings. Well, the good news will be confirmed on the leaderboard. A fourth place finish. That means the athletes qualified. Welcome along to the Olympic Stadium, the jewel in the crown of the Olympic Park. This is the place where these athletes will take the next step on their Olympic dream. Let's have a look at the lineup for this event. Well, these are the moments of real tension, aren't they?
Set.
Away from the blocks cleanly, and qualifying's underway. It's not a bad performance, this one, so far. Through 50, this is really close. South Africa are in first place. South Africa qualify in first place. In second and qualifying is Great Britain. Well, this athlete can really learn a lot from this replay. So much to analyse. The stride was choppy, it wasn't smooth. They didn't really get into rhythm, and come the final few metres, were nowhere really to be seen. Let's have a look at the final results then. 4th place, scraped through with that one. Hello and welcome back to the Aquatic Centre. The next event is the 100 metres butterfly. That's 2 lengths to the pool. Let's take a look at the lineup for this event. Acknowledging the crowd. Well, the crowd are doing their bits, plenty in to try and encourage success for this athlete. Eight athletes, 1 goal. This is for the Olympic title. Into their stroke now as they emerge from the water. All 8 athletes very, very close through 25 metres. Closing in on the 50-metre mark, and there's still plenty of work to do. Oof. Disappointing. In first place, it's Brazil. In second place, Ukraine. Poland are in 3rd place. 25 metres to go. One final push for 10 metres. They touch now. Ukraine take gold. It's France in 2nd place. Poland miss out, they finish 4th. Well, that was all right, not the best performance this athlete's ever going to put in, and I've got to be honest, once they were in the water, there was always a thought that they weren't going to be quite up with the pace. Their technique just not quite holding together, and that's why they finished where they did. The Ukraine take gold, and they reserved their best performance for the final. That really was outstanding. In 2nd place and silver, it's France. Brazil booked their place on the podium, finishing 3rd. It's a bronze medal. Time now for a quick look at who's where in the medal table. Welcome to the Olympic Stadium here, the jewel in the crown of the Olympic Park. This is a terrific venue, made from some recycled and some of the most sustainable materials. This really is a green stadium of the new millennium. And these athletes are all ready to go on the first step of their Olympic dream. On their blocks and ready.
Set.
The 100 metres final started. Needs to work hard here. Driving through the halfway point. In first place, South Africa. Gold for South Africa. Hold the back pages. There's a new story to write. Great Britain comes 2nd and takes silver. 3rd place for Germany, a bronze medal. Well, let's have another look. Plenty to analyse in that performance. And really, it came down to being able to change gears. And on this occasion, this athlete just couldn't do it. Looked relatively smooth, but in the end, not able to break into the top 3. A gold medal and a nation proud after that final. South Africa finish on top of the podium. Second place, really good effort. Silver for Great Britain. And finishing with a bronze medal, it's Germany. Let's see who's won the medals then. This is the medal tally. Well, that... Hello and welcome to the Royal Artillery Barracks here in London. The next event is a shooting one, the 25 metres rapid-fire pistol. Every Olympics has a superstar, and there's every chance that this athlete could be the face of London 2012. Here we go, round one then. 8 seconds to hit 5 targets. So much work still to do for this athlete, but just not their day at the moment. Let's take a check of the leaderboard at the end of the first round.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Round 2, 6 seconds for the 5 targets. Well, I think he's quite happy with that performance. 6th after that round. Here's the scoreboard to confirm the rest of the positions.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Round 3 then.
Attention.
As before, 6 seconds to hit 5 targets. Pressure's on. Good points return in round 3. Well, things going well here so far. Still just about in touch with the leaders. After that round, it's 4th place.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Round 4, 4 seconds, 5 targets. This is where the pressure mounts.
Stop.
Moved across the targets nicely there. Well, 4th place after the latest round, and that certainly shows a decent performance.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Round 5 then, and now accuracy is everything. Well, that's all right, that's not bad. Certainly will put this athlete in the mix. Well, 4th place after the latest round, and that certainly shows a decent performance.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Here we are in the 6th round, 5 targets, 4 seconds. Can't make a mistake here in the final round. Well, that's a good performance. The fans have applauded, but I think he knows he's missed out here. Well, let's have a look at the replay. Let's take a check on the final standings. Just enough for qualification, scraping through in 4th place.
With a score of 269.1.
Although currently used as an exhibition and conference centre, the XL London will prove to be one of the most versatile venues at the whole of the Games. The key thing for these athletes is to finish in the top 4, and then they're assured progression to the next stage. And once you're in the Olympic final, it just comes down to performance on the day. Well, this is quite hard, not the most difficult. Needs a good snatch here. Every muscle. Oh, that technique is fantastic. Well, he'll be in with contention with that last lift. Well, let's have another look at the scoreboard, and 3rd place after the latest round. That's a good performance. Well, this is where the mental state of the lifter really does come into question. A good first effort. Now with the 2nd attempt, can he put more weight on the bar? And exactly how much does he put on that bar? Is he strong enough? Such a powerful athlete. No problems with that weight, and quite rightly so. Capable of lifting so much more. Well, in the top 3 after that last round, 3rd place is a good position to be in. How ambitious is he going to be with this attempt? Well, if he doesn't get this right, he'll be very disappointed. This athlete is giving absolutely everything. Now it's about staying strong and staying focused mentally. Slams it down. That was a good lift. Well, there's no doubt that the athlete's delighted with that performance, but they're probably going to have to rein in the celebrations a little here. Let's have one final look then. The bar bending under the weight. This is confirmation of the final standings. Let's take a check at the scoreboard after that one then, and good news, qualification with a 1st place finish. Welcome back. This is the Royal Artillery Barracks, and the next event is the 25-metre rapid-fire pistol.
Final of the men's 25-metre rapid-fire pistol.
Well, this is the field then, and some great competitors, all vying for a medal.
Athlete from Poland.
Well, this athlete is a rank outsider, a superhuman effort required to take a medal. Here we go then with round 1 of the 25-metre rapid-fire pistol. Well, that's a big confidence booster. Things going well after that round. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. 2nd place.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Round 2 then.
Attention. Stop.
Well, he likes that. It's been a good performance.
5.0.
Looking at the scoreboard, and a 3rd position placing after that round is good news for this athlete.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
So round 3, 6 seconds to hit these targets. Well, that's not bad, but it's not great either. At the halfway mark and lying in 3rd place, and I'm sure those watching in this athlete's country will be really excited about that. Still much to do, though, but it's very promising.
The athlete from Poland.
Well, the time's cut in round 4 to just 4 seconds, less than 1 second a target.
Stop.
Well, that's all right. Certainly something for this athlete to work on. Happy with that, very happy with that. And as the scoreboard confirms, that will keep him very much in the mix. Here's round 5 then. 5 targets, 4 seconds to hit them. Well, that was all right. Not bad at all. Well, things going well here so far. Still just about in touch with the leaders. After that round, it's 4th place.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Well, this is the ultimate pressure.
Attention.
Well, not what he was looking for.
8.8.
Well, that's a really good performance, and this athlete will be really happy with that. Let's take a check on the replay. One final check on the standings then. What an event this has been. Confirmed now, a gold medal for the USA. Not quite gold for China on this occasion, but a good performance and a silver medal. And in 3rd place, finishing with a bronze, it's Poland. And in 3rd with bronze, it's France.
77.2. France with a score of 277.
This for me is always one of the best bits at an Olympic Games, when finally you see the athletes on the podium, and now the moment that they can all enjoy the sound of the national anthem. So much emotion down there, so much happiness, all the hard work that these athletes put in, and you can't deny them that feeling of elation whilst on the podium. It's been brilliant once again, and thoroughly deserving of these medals. Let's have a look at the overall medal tally. Welcome along then. The next event is the weightlifting, and this crowd is at fever pitch. They're ready for the action, so let's press on. Some great competitors in the final of the weightlifting. Who's going to be the strongman, though, of these games? This athlete looks right at home, despite the pressure of an Olympic final. Thoroughly enjoying the atmosphere. Look at that. Well, I think this could be a fairly ambitious number. Really has to focus on this. Technique's good, does very well here. Well, the judges give it the okay. Not brilliant, really, from this athlete, but at least they're on the board. It doesn't matter which country you want to win the gold medal in this event. You've got to respect the start that athlete's made to this competition. Well, he really is in with a chance of a medal, but needs to stack some more weight on this bar.
205.0 kilograms.
Needs to keep the mind focused here. Got to build up this power. Well, completed that one without too many problems, and quite rightly, not the biggest weight you're going to see thrown above his head. Well, there's not much breathing room at the top at this stage. It really is very, very tight.
0-0.
So far, so good. This is the final attempt, and can this be the cherry on top of the performance?
0 kilograms.
Looks fairly composed here. Does well, gets it above his head. Well, 3 lights and he can slam that one down. The emotion evident at this point, sheer delight. But also, there might be a few tears down there as a new Olympic champion is crowned. Well, let's have another look at that performance. Good technique. Absolutely rock-solid technique. A polished Polish performance, culminating in a thoroughly deserved gold medal. Despite great vocal support from the stands, Great Britain don't get gold. Instead, it's a silver medal. And in bronze, it's the Ukraine.
Ukraine lifting a total weight of 7.00.
The performance deserving of a gold medal, and now the ceremony to celebrate the achievements of this athlete. What a performance it was. The nation now stands together for the national anthems, and I'm sure the emotion will boil over on that podium, and quite rightly, tears of joy. So much joy from those performances. So much credit as well these 3 athletes must take. Really was high-class stuff. And now he'll always be known as an Olympic medalist. Well, let's have a look at what that does to the medal table. That's the end of the day's proceedings, but still plenty of Olympic champions to be crowned. Well, a gorgeous day at the Royal Artillery Barracks. We're outside for the next event. This is the men's skeet.
Semi-final of men's skeet.
The skeet has been an ever-present at the Olympic Games since 1968. That was when it was first introduced. Since then, 11 times they've handed out medals in this event.
Oh!
Has a piece of that. Next up, it's the double. High house first. Gets the first. Gets the second.
3 hits.
It doesn't matter whether it's the lower house or the high house. He certainly won't be in the doghouse after that performance.
Oh.
Fantastic stuff. Here we are then, a chance on station number 2 for the double. Beautiful shooting. Collecting targets with that round.
3 hits.
Well, here's the scoreboard at the end of that round, and it shows first place.
Next up, competitor representing Poland.
Oh.
Seemed a bit slow in moving the gun there. Up next, the double. That's the double. That performance acknowledged by the crowd. It was magnificent. Well done. Good execution on that round.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Oh.
Thunders the first one. This is station number 4. Chalk that one up as a miss. Let's have a look on the double. Good for 2. Looking for the double here. That's 2. Beautiful execution on that final
5
shot.
hits.
Well, what will that last station have done to the scoreboard?
Next up, competitor representing Poland.
Oh.
Takes a chunk of that one. Now for the double. That was good, perfect stuff.
2 hits.
Well, after that round, this athlete, much to the crowd's delight, is in the lead.
Next up, competitor representing Poland.
Oh.
Clips it. Now for the double. Well, that's 2 more. Banging a brace.
3 hits.
Excellent stuff. What a performance. Let's have another look at the scoreboard then after 6 rounds.
Oh.
Picks them both off. That's a brace.
2 hits.
Brilliant. Simply brilliant. Terrific shooting here.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Oh.
He hit the high house there. This is the last station. Good stuff. Very good stuff.
1 hit.
Well, that's a really strong performance. a small glimpse of the potential of this athlete. These are the final standings. Well, let's take a look at the leaderboard then, and qualification assured, a first place finish. Well, here we go, ready for the start of the qualifying rounds of the women's vault. This is an event where you need to be able to show the speed of an athlete and the flexibility of a gymnast. The medals have been shared around, with China and Russia and Spain all tasting plenty of success.
So they've opted for the easy routine on the vault. Let's see how they get on. Of course, it has to be done well. Oh, landing on your back. That's not going to score well with the judges. Not a bad attempt on the vault. Needs to give some more, though. Well, let's have a look at the replay then. And as you'll see, a fairly average performance with that vault. They really need to improve now. It's going to be really interesting to see how the judges score this. That's it then, the end of the round. Let's have a look at the scoreboard now, and I'm afraid it doesn't look great down there in 8th position, propping up the table. Well, they've decided to go with the easy routine on the vault. This has to be done with absolute precision. Oh, something's gone wrong there. Didn't perform the selected vault. Technically all wrong. They're not going to be happy with that. Well, let's have a quick look at the highlights of that performance then. Well, I wonder what the judges are going to make of this performance then. Well, you can tell by the body language there, it says it all. They're really not happy about that performance today. Not a great effort from them.
Well, goodness me, that was exciting. Alison, thank you. Well, let's take a final look at the standings then, and this is confirmation. Well, it's a shame that all that hard work has gone to waste. I think great things were hoped for, if not necessarily expected. This athlete unable to deliver in the big moment. This is the massive North Greenwich Arena, built originally for the Millennium celebrations. Now, though, it's the Olympics that will take centre stage.
An interesting decision there. They've decided to go with the easy selection on the vault, but is it going to be enough for them to go on and win this competition? I'm not sure they're going to be happy with that attempt. They've got to step up their game. Well, how will the judges see this one? Well, there you go then. That's how the scoreboard's looking at the end of that round. Well, they've opted for an easy routine on the vault. Let's see how they get on. It's got to be executed well. Has to do well in the vault. Technically needs to improve. That's not a great performance there. I'm expecting that's going to be reflected in the judges' scores now.
Let's take another look. This is the Royal Artillery Barracks, and the next event will see shooters aiming at moving targets. This is the skeet. This really is a world-class field, the very best athletes in the final of this event. Well, the atmosphere is electric, and he's certainly helping that. This is station number 1.
Oh.
Needs to hit the target here. Looking for the double from station 1. Looking for 2, and they're both there.
2 hits.
Terrific performance with that first round.
Next, Jacek from Poland.
Oh.
Well, that's good. Plenty of powder in the sky. That means he hit the high house. What can he do on this double? Well, no mistakes here.
2 hits.
Well, what will that last station have done to the scoreboard?
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Oh.
Grazing that one. Just enough to take another target. Can he follow it up with a double here? Well, he's at the double there. Well, that's a good round, and there's no doubt now that this competitor can have the confidence that they can keep up with the leaders here.
Next, Jacek from Poland.
Oh.
Good shot. Station number 4, midway through here. That's a single. We're looking for the double on station 4. Good shooting. This is the double. Two for 2. That pleases the crowd.
6 hits.
Well, the scoreboard's looking good here. Second place after that round.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Oh.
Collects that one right out of the lower house. Looking for the double. Lower house first. This is station 5. Really good technical performance, that.
2 hits.
Well, time to take a check on the scoreboard after 5 stations.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Oh.
Clips the target. That'll be a point. This is the double. Takes the pair. Really good technique through that, and I can see the smile on his face. Well, it's a good position to be in. Second place for this athlete on the scoreboard. That looks very promising.
Next, Jacek from Poland.
Oh.
Perfection. This athlete could make history here.
2 hits.
Let's have a look at the scoreboard after that round, and it makes good reading. First place.
Next, Jacek from Poland.
Oh.
Well, I think the pressure's telling here. 2 more targets to hit then at the final station. Well, not bad at all.
1 hit.
Well, missed out on the perfect round there. The celebrations of an Olympic champion. Look at the emotion. What a performance. And the crowd stand on their feet to applaud. Well, this is the crowning glory as now the athletes take to the podium. Superb performance. Everybody in this building really appreciates how hard they've worked to become the Olympic champion and take home a medal from London 2012. And I'm sure the emotions are going to be high on the podium. Never fails to bring a lump to my throat, the ecstasy of victory, rewarded with a medal, as they did traditionally at the Olympic Games. It really is what makes it so great. Another fantastic achievement. Let's take a quick check on the overall medal tally. Well, that concludes things for today. What an exciting time it's been. From Seth Bennett and all the team, until next time. Welcome to the London 2012 Aquatic Centre here in Stratford. This is the gateway to the Olympic Park, built specifically for these games. The Olympic Games always has a habit of making superstars. There's no reason why this athlete can't be the story of this Games. Well, big things being tipped of this athlete, and is this their first step towards Olympic glory? Got to negotiate qualifying though. The athletes take to the blocks. Approaching 25 metres and already some early moves. Now starting to stroke well at the quarter point. This athlete needs to pick up the pace. Good tumble turn from the athlete, and now less than 50 metres to go. France are in first place. Poland are in second. China are in third place. 25 to go, stretching out. Now into the closing stages. Poland qualify in first place. Second place goes to France. And Belgium move on to the final in third. So many things to like about this performance. In replay, you just see the power of this athlete, stroking so well, and that's why they were able to put in such a terrific time. Let's have a look at the final standings then. Well, let's get confirmation then of the result after that performance. And good news, qualification in first place. No complaints from the athletes about the facilities here. This really is a state-of-the-art stadium. Let's have a look at the lineup then. And lots of crowd support for this athlete.
Poland.
This is a real opportunity to lay down a marker early on in this. Well, that's a conservative selection. A decent first-round performance.
1.60.
Let's take another look at this. Brilliant. Well, let's take a check on the results at the end of round one.
Representing Poland.
Well, this athlete's got to choose what height they're going to try and attempt next. And this could be a difficult decision. Great technique to tuck her feet in at the end.
1.80.
Here is the replay. Let's take another look at the scoreboard then.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Well, this athlete is going to have to choose what level to jump over the bar. Well, this shouldn't cause too many problems. She clips the bar and it falls. Well, here's the next effort. What made it look simple? No problems at all with that one, and plenty of space still to go higher. Here's the replay. Well, let's have a quick look at the leaderboard after that last clearance. Well, the bar's height is exactly what's the focus of this athlete's mind right now. This is a tough call. Ultimately a failure, but not far away from getting this absolutely right. Here we go, attempt number 2. Well, the crowd will react to that quite rightly. Here's the replay. Well, let's take a check on the scoreboard, and there's good news, lying in first place.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Well, the bar's height is exactly what's the focus of this athlete's mind right now. This is a tough call. Oh, goodness me, massively fortunate there. However it happened, I'm sure she's delighted with that, as we've got the confirmed results of those who went clear at that height. Well, here's the scoreboard at the end of that round, and it shows first place.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Well, this athlete's got to choose what height they're going to try and attempt next. And this could be a difficult decision. Well, that's a foul, and I'm afraid to say it's back to the drawing board after that last attempt. The replay doesn't lie. She must be delighted with that. Needs a good takeoff here. Well, that attempt's going to count for nothing, I'm afraid to say. It's a foul. Well, let's have another look at that performance. Good technique. Absolutely rock-solid technique. Needs to clear this one. Final attempt then. This is the third opportunity at this height. Hits the bar and it falls off. Good performance, but will that be enough to take them through to the next stage? Well, the event's finished. Let's get one last look at the standings. Excellent news as the scoreboard confirms it. A first-place finish, and that assures qualification. Welcome along. The atmosphere really is electric. I hope you can feel it at home. Up next, it's the final of the men's 100 metres backstroke. The experts will tell you that Poland are unlikely to finish in the top three in this event. However, this athlete has improved greatly in recent months. Well, the pressure's on, but this athlete looks right at home here. All 8 athletes on the blocks, ready to go. Early leaders starting to establish themselves at 25 metres. Pulling hard through the water at 25 metres. Finding it tough so far in this race. Great drive off the wall as they approach the three-quarter point in this race. Leading the pack, China. Second, France. Third, it's the Ukraine. 25 metres to go. Who's going to touch him first? It's Olympic gold for France. China takes silver. Bronze for Belgium. Agony for Poland in fourth. Well, that was all right. Not the best performance this athlete's ever going to put in. And I've got to be honest, once they were in the water, there was always a thought that they weren't going to be quite up with the pace. Their technique just not quite holding together. And that's why they finished where they did. France finish on the podium. A really good return for them. Another gold in the pool. With China taking silver. And finishing with a bronze, it's Belgium. This is the medal tally. Well, some people think that concrete and steel structures are ugly, but how can you feel that about this place? 80,000 people jammed in here for the next event. The Polish athletes have received good support all the way through this Olympic Games. Today's no different, and there's a real opportunity to finish in the top three. Round number one, it's all about clearing that bar. This athlete is going to make an interesting selection here. Well, this is going to be a test for this athlete. Needs to go clear on this and needs to have good technique to do it. Certainly some nerves out there with that first round performance, but that's good. The replay doesn't lie. She must be delighted with that. Always good to get on the leaderboard in the first round.
The athlete from Poland.
This athlete could send out a real statement with the next height selection. But that won't be any good, I'm afraid. A stutter in the run-up will have cost this athlete. No chance of going clear when you hit the bar that hard. Attempt number 2. Will it be a better effort? Great technique to tuck their feet in at the end. Well, let's have a look at the replay. That's the end of the round, and it's very, very tight at the top. Hardly anything separates these athletes here. This really is a good competition. This athlete shouldn't have a problem in clearing this height, but it isn't one of the easier levels by any stretch of the imagination. Well, this is the second attempt. Well, the takeoff was poor there. I don't know what was wrong with this athlete, but I think they need to have another look at this. Final attempt at this height. Well, that's not a good attempt. In fact, it's a foul. The crowd seem to like it. Let's take a look at the replay. A really good performance. I'm sure the athletes will be happy with that. China has a tradition of success, and that continues. A really good showing in this event, and another gold medal. Not quite good enough for top spots, but still something to be proud of. France finishing second and take home the silver medal. Well, that's third for Poland. They'll be happy to take home bronze from the 2012 Games. What a proud moment this is for everybody in the arena here to stand as one for the national anthem. All those years of training have finally paid off as a new national hero is born. An emotional moment on the podium. Olympic champion. What a great ring that has to it. As the flags are pulled towards the roof, and then the celebrations will begin. An explosion of sound and colour in this stadium. Ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic, and quite rightly so. Really was a great competition as we see another Olympic champion crowned. This is the medal tally. Well, the search has been for an Olympic champion, and that search will continue. From Seth Bennett and all the team, we'll see you next time. Welcome to the Lee Valley White Water Centre for the qualifying rounds of the men's kayaking. Well, this course will ask everything. The opening is fairly quick. They must negotiate Piccadilly Circus. Down Ben Nevis. Negotiate the oval. Till the final big drop, Big Ben. The Olympic Games always has a habit of making superstars. And there's no reason why this athlete can't be the story of this Games. So many hopes and dreams at this point. Gate 1 is where it all starts. Well, that's good paddling, made to work hard to get through that gate. Needs to keep on top of the white water through this upstream gate. Well, this athlete's going the wrong way through this course. Leaning very hard to one side here. Needs to improve on that time in section 2. And into Ben Nevis. Well, that shows the control of the kayak, the way this athlete's leaning. Safely through another gate. To qualify in the top 4, you have to go through these gates in the right direction. You can't afford to lose the time of going the wrong way. Well, that's a gate missed, I'm afraid. Passing the gates without any problems here. Well, passing the gate in the wrong direction won't help. Well, this is sluggish through 2 sections. Well, this one's upstream and needs to try and stay dry. Had to slow down to get through that gate. Having to lean hard to get through that gate and take the most efficient route. Has to lean really far to get through that gate. Well, that's another gate safely negotiated. Looking a little sluggish at this stage. Needs to really put the foot down. Into Big Ben. Well, it took an awful lot of hard work and effort, but eventually got through that gate. What a run it's been! Well, I'm sure he'll feel he let himself down a little bit there. In the end, it comes down to the execution, and it just wasn't quite on it. Well, here is the replay then, and this is a run to forget. Certainly what could have gone wrong did go wrong. Needed to go out hard in the first section and then keep the kayak moving smoothly through these choppy waters. Very difficult to do, though, and if you don't keep it smooth, you lose time. And as this athlete crosses the finish line, the penalties really are too big, and that'll come as a big frustration. Well, that's it. Real frustration and disappointment for this athlete. Just not the performance that they dreamed of at an Olympic Games. Here's the confirmation. The post-mortem starts here for this athlete. The minimum requirement was a place in the Olympic final. Sadly, though, he's gone out in the qualification stages.
120.41. Third, Great Britain with a time of 127.59.
Welcome to Horse Guards Parade for the start of the women's beach volleyball. Next, Poland up against China.
Here are the referees for today's match, William Johnston and Travis Hall.
The next event's ready to start. To take you through it, your commentator, Alison Kirbishley.
Yes, thanks, Seth. Well, the atmosphere is certainly electric down on court here for these two teams. Let's get underway. Well, you really can cut the atmosphere with a knife. This is what we've been waiting for. The first serve of the first game. Excellent rally building. The team play is just not up to scratch there as they lose the point. Can they pull themselves together and focus on getting this right?
China to serve.
Pressure's starting to build on our teams, who can hold their concentration. The atmosphere is electric down here. Superb play on court. Just never looked like returning that shot down the middle. They've really got to figure out how to deal with those. Just listen to the crowd. What a shot. Straight down the middle. They didn't stand a chance. What a display of beach volleyball on court. They deservedly win that point. A point lost there. There's not much in it, though. Just trailing by a very small margin. Wow, what fantastic play there. And the winner comes with a shot straight down the middle. Set point here in the qualifier. A great opportunity for them. Great work to take the point. Now what can they do from here? Rally starting to build, excitement starting to build. The crowd are really enjoying this game. Continues the rally with the dig. Oh, the crowd love that dig. Matches that with the block. Fantastic dig there. She gets low for the dig. Great play with that dig. Jumps high for the block. Returns with a solid dig. Precision play on court. Real teamwork. They deserve the point. What really great work there to take the lead after a fantastic first set. Here we go with the first serve of the second set. Can they get off to a good start? What a great shot, straight down the middle. The point's quite rightly theirs. They're working so hard for this. Well, a point lost there. They'll be absolutely kicking themselves over that one, but they can't let it get them down. What great play there to force the error from their opponents. They've got to be pleased with that. The crowd really appreciating that serve. Well, that might be a point drop, but they're not far behind at this stage. Just a few points could see them right back in this game. Serving for the set now, needs to get off to a good start. What a superb finish down the line to get them the point. This is what the crowd have come to see.
This one is for the set. Poland to serve. 3-4.
Wow, this team are very much back in the game then after a win in the second set there. It's all building tension for the third and final set. Playing so well there and quite rightly take the point as a result. Great rally beginning to build. Superb play on court, a real fantastic rally starting to build now. Well, that impressive shot goes straight down the middle and they just couldn't return it. Let's see if they can pick it up from here. Setting the court alive with their play. Absolutely deserve that point.
2-2.
A serve straight off the training court.
China to serve. 3-2.
Both teams seem to be in control at the moment. Pulls off the dig and the rally keeps going. Pulls off the dig. Great technique with the dig. Digs it to their partner. Great athleticism shown in that dig. Well, this team was certainly tested out there on court today, but in the end, the victory is theirs by winning 2-1. So time now for me to hand back over to Seth Bennett to wrap up all the action.
Well, that was really enjoyable. Alison, thank you. Let's take one last look at the results. Well, this is how it all finished, and no one can dispute this result. Well, deep disappointment for all concerned, not in the top four, and that means no place in the final. Since the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, Horse Guards Parade has proved a pivotal place for those who've been the protectors of the crown. This is an enticing matchup at the beach volleyball. Watching for us, here's Alison Kirbishley.
Precision play, real teamwork, deserved that point. Well, as you can see, they're definitely happy with that. Straight down the middle, that's a point for them with that shot. Well, an awesome display of beach volleyball on court today. That's a point won and a point on the board for them. There is absolutely no stopping this team. They extend their lead even further with that point.
4-0.
What a great effort by this team. They take the lead by winning the first set. As always, the first serve, it is crucial. Here we are in the second set. She's got to be happy with that. She finished it beautifully down the line for a well-earned point.
Poland to serve. 1-1.
Well, that's a point lost there. And everyone in the arena here can see they're not happy with that. Absolutely fantastic display of beach volleyball. They take the point. Well, here we go with the serve to start the rally. So here we go, trying to build up the rally now. Piling the pressure on their opponents, they take the point.
3-2.
Well, they take the point there, but it's very, very tight. They just have a small lead.
One more point for the game. 4-2.
Well, they couldn't have asked for much more. What a way to win. 2-0, a clean sheet. So that's it for this match. Time now to hand back over to Seth Bennett.
Thanks, Alison. Time then to have a look at the final results. Fully deserving of the gold medal, this is the moment where finally the athlete is crowned the new Olympic champion. Emotions running high, no doubt, as they step onto the podium. Big smiles as the crowd rises one for the national anthem. There'll be tears flowing. Desire and dedication brings you this moment. A moment that leaves a lump in the throat. She really has had a terrific Olympic Games, and there's no doubts at all that she can go on from here and use this as a springboard for world domination. Let's have a quick glance at the medal standings. That concludes today's events. Tomorrow, though, it's the quest for gold. Here we are then at the Olympic Stadium for the qualifying rounds of the men's shot put. Another good crowd in for this one. Good conditions too. Barely a breath of wind as these athletes preparing for their opportunity to make the Olympic final.
The athlete from Poland.
Well, this athlete is looking to create some history here, and this is the first step towards Olympic gold. Huge throw, over 20 metres. Let's get confirmation at the end of one round of the men's shot put.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Well, here we are in the second round. Oh, this looks good.
Poland with a distance of 22.08 metres.
Here's the scoreboard after 2 qualifying rounds.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Well, here we go in the next round of the men's shot put. Crowd responding to that.
Poland with a distance of 20.76.
Halfway through then, and the scoreboard is a welcome sight for this athlete, proudly sitting on top of the leaderboard.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
4th attempt. This could be big. This could be very big.
Poland with a distance of 23.33 metres.
Well, 4 rounds gone. Let's take another look at the leaderboard.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
It's all going to come down to this, the delivery. Well, that was good from Poland. Good throw.
Poland with a distance of 22.66 metres.
Well, let's take a check on the scoreboard, and there's good news, lying in first place.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Well, this is the final attempt for this athlete. Not quite excellent, but I think you'd certainly have to describe that throw from Poland as very good. Well, I think he showed good technique there as he made it into the qualification places, and now chance of a medal. Oh, that's terrific. Let's have a look at the replay. A magnificent throw. The approach, brilliant. The release point, great. And then it just came down to the distance. Fantastic. Well, first place, a good performance. Qualification assured. Welcome back to the Olympic Stadium for the qualifying rounds of the men's long jump. Packed house in here today.
Is the semi-final of the men's long jump.
The Olympic Games always has a habit of making superstars. And there's no reason why this athlete can't be the story of this Games. Well, here we go then, round number 1. Well, that's going to be a red flag. He overstepped on that effort. As we have confirmation now on the scoreboard.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Here we go then, round 2. Almost everything in right, just a slight stutter on the board. Nice hitch kick, and then the landing. It's a really good jump. Let's have another look at the leaderboard then at the end of round 2.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Round number 3 then, in the men's qualifying rounds. This athlete needs a good jump here. This is an event where keeping momentum is crucial, and if you jump high, you won't jump long.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Should be no nerves now in round number 4. Well, the problem with that jump was that the trajectory into the sand was just too high.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
5th attempt now. Needs to find a better trajectory into the sand here. Really could have done better than this in the end. Not the best jump, and in fact actually quite disappointing. Got to hit the board flush here. Well, this will be a no jump. I'm afraid to say there'll be a red flag, and that's frustrating. Let's take a final check then on the results in the long jump. Well, this is the final standings, and really very, very upsetting.
Belgium with a distance of 8.49. Third, Portugal with a distance of 8.39.
Hello from the Olympic Stadium. Welcome. This, though, is the last session of the day.
The next event is the final of the men's shot put.
There are 2 different techniques you can use in this event, either the glide or the spin. Both can bring good success. Well, he's acknowledging the crowd, and they love it. Looking to build power all the way through, from the toes right to the full extension. This shot could be over 22 meters.
Poland with a distance of 22.18 meters.
Impressive stuff from Poland. Really good start to this competition.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Here we go then, second round of the men's shot put. This looks massive.
Poland with a distance of 23.85 meters.
Well, this is a terrific shot put event. A number of different contenders that could all take home a medal here.
Foul.
A super start to this competition. First place at the midway point shows this athlete is all about the business of winning a gold medal. Good performance that.
Poland with a distance of 20.1.
This is a tremendous shot put event. Great competition.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
When justice is back. I think he'll be quite happy with that throw. Let's have a look at the scoreboard after that round, and it makes good reading. First place. Final round this, last shot.
Foul.
Super celebrations, and deservedly so. A really good performance, nicking first place by the slimmest of margins. Everything went right here. Quick across the circle and then explosive as the shot went flying high into the air. Great throw. In second place and silver, it's France. Romania finish in third place. That's a good enough performance for bronze.
Third, Romania, with a distance of 21.49 meters.
Well, this is the moment where we can enjoy success, and certainly they'll be doing that on the podium. Time for the national anthems to celebrate.
The winner of the bronze medal, Romania.
Well, what a day it's been, and quite rightly, enjoying every moment, soaking in the atmosphere here. These are memories that will live long for these athletes. And to take home a medal from an Olympic Games is a dream moment. Let's take a quick check on the overall medal tally. Well, that's it for the shot puts. What an exciting event that's been. Really good performances from many of these athletes. From Seth Bennett at the Olympic stage. Welcome to Eton Dorney for the qualifying rounds of the men's single sculls. A picturesque venue this that will host all of the rowing events in London 2012. Up next, the men's single sculls. Many of these competitors have raced here already. In 2006, it hosted the Rowing World Championship and received high praise from both competitors and spectators alike. Well, these athletes are ready.
Attention. Set.
And we're off, and the crowds here at Eton Dorney are enjoying this. Just looks a little out of sync to me. First place at the moment is with Australia. The pace is good from Kenya, very much in with a chance of winning. They're in second. Time's running out for China to improve on third place. It's Australia who lead the way. Second place and looking good, it's Kenya. Third place for China, that's a good performance so far. Very slow. Australia in first place and looking really good. China are in touch with the leader here. Time's running out for Kenya to improve on third place. This is the final stanza in this race. Australia in first place and qualifying. They're through to the final. China go through in second place and making their way to the final in third. It's Kenya. Well, this is one that he won't want to see again. Not a particularly good performance. The stroke rate early on was down, and then when he needed to pull through, it didn't quite happen. The middle section just letting him down, and then coming down the home straight. We're really expecting more from this athlete, but on this occasion, he just couldn't quite put in the performance we were hoping for. Welcome to Lord's Cricket Ground. For many years, this has been the scene of some great Ashes success for both England and Australia. But now a chance for somebody to win a medal in the Olympic archery. At the Athens 2004 Games, archers competed at the Panathinaikos Stadium, where the first modern Olympics took place in 1896. Well, this is a nervous moment. The first end and the first arrow. Just outside the yellow. That's worth 8. Arrow number 2 then. Great shot for 9. Arrow number 3 then. That's a 10. Well, here's the replay. Let's take a check on the leaderboard after the first end. Second place, it's a great start to qualification, really throwing down a marker to the other competitors. End 2, arrow 1. Well, they'll be delighted with the start. End 2, arrow 2. Let's add 9 more to the total for that arrow. This is arrow number 3 on end 2. In the yellow, a great way to finish this end. Here's the replay. So at the halfway mark, second place for this athlete. It's a very good place to be in, threatening the leader at this stage. Here we are for the third end, and the competitors will shoot towards the magnificent media centre. Trust, we're not in the line of fire. This is the third end and the second arrow. So close to a 10, that's a 9. This arrow wraps up end number 3. This athlete is locked in right now. 10 more points to the total. Here's the replay. Well, it's a good position to be in. Second place for this athlete on the scoreboard. That looks very promising.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Arrow 1, end 4. So close to the maximum. That's 9. Arrow 2, end 4. That's 8. Arrow number 3. That's 9.
Poland with a score of 20.
Let's check on the replay. 4 good ends for the athlete sees them in a qualification position. It's a really good start to the Olympic Games. These are the final standings, though. Well, let's take another check on the leaderboard, and good news, qualification with a second place finish. Welcome to Lord's, usually the home of cricket, but for now, the home of the Olympic archery.
The next event is the final of the men's archery.
The Polish athletes have received good support all the way through this Olympic Games. Today's no different, and there's a real opportunity to finish in the top 3. End number 1, arrow number 1. The outer yellow circle, that's 9 points. This is arrow number 2 for this athlete. Really good, 9. A good arrow here, and end 1 will finish on a high for this athlete. 6 more to the total.
Poland with a score of 24.
Here's the replay. Terrific first end, fantastic stuff.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
First arrow, second end. And this really is a sport where millimeters count. Nine points. Good shot. It's a golden arrow, 10 points.
Poland with a score of 28.
Here is the replay. We've reached the midway point in this one, and third place is a good position to be in.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
First arrow, always important. Right down the middle, 10 points. Arrow 2. Nine more points in the outer yellow circle. This is the final arrow in end number 3. Perfect, right down the middle, just what the doctor ordered. Here's the replay of that. Things going well after that round. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Second place.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Three more arrows then, as the wind really picks up its blustery conditions now. Nine for that arrow. This is the penultimate arrow in the competition. Good aim, 8 points. Arrow number 3, end 4. Bang on, 10.
Poland with a score of 27.
Let's take a look at that replay. Well, that's what all the hard work's for. Look at the reaction of this athlete. A really good performance to finish in the medals. China has a tradition of success, and that continues. A really good showing in this event, and another gold medal. A really strong performance from Poland, second place, a silver medal. And finishing third, taking home bronze, it's Spain.
Russia with a score of 101. Fifth, South Korea with a score of 98.
What a proud and emotional moment this is, as the gold medal hangs around the neck. A nation united as one as they stand for the national anthems to celebrate years and years of hard work and dedication. And this is the moment the athlete has always dreamed of. Well, it was a phenomenal competition, a brilliant performance for the gold medalist. But certainly to come away with silver, there is no shame in that. This really does put this athlete on the map. Time now to take a quick look at the medal table. Well, it's been a good day at Lord's. No cricket on offer, but the archery has been spellbinding. From Seth Bennett and all the team, that's it for now. The design of the javelin has changed over the years, but the technique remains very similar. The key to this is all about the speed on the runway and then making sure at the point of release the athlete's able to still stop before the line to keep the throw legal. Looks in good shape here.
Representing Poland.
First attempt. You know what, that's a really solid start in this competition. Good first throw.
2.39.
Let's have a look at the results at the end of round one.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Starts the run now. Really good throw.
Poland with a distance of 6.24 meters.
Well, after that round, this athlete, much to the crowd's delight, is in the lead.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Here we go then, attempt number 3. Well, this is huge. It continues to fly. Well, the crowd appreciates it, but I think he knows he can throw further.
2.23 meters.
Well, that's the end of the round, and now on the scoreboard has a really big lead.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Well, this is the 4th round when the athletes are fully warmed up. The nerves have gone. You expect the better throws here. A terrific throw this towards the 90-metre mark. They'll be happy with that.
With a distance of 93.5.
Well, 4 rounds gone. Let's take another look at the leaderboard.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
The 5th attempt. Oh, that's arcing really long. Well, let's see what they measure this one at, but that's a decent throw. Well, let's take a check on the scoreboard, and there's good news, lying in first place. Well, here we go then on the runway. We'll look to launch this one. Well, let's see what they measure this one at, but that's a decent throw. Well, that's a close one. Well, let's have a look at the replay. This really is a good throw, and let's take a closer look at the technique. Well, let's take a check on the final standings, and the top three sorted out in this one. Well, the scoreboard confirms it. First place, qualification. Next up, the final. This is the final event of this session at the Aquatic Centre here in Stratford. The athletes are ready, 17,500 fans are ready. Let's get it on. Good field as well to look at. And it could really come from any one of four of these divers. The divers have to select what they're going to do, and if they can't do that, then obviously the judges will take a dim view of that. It's a really good dive, that, and quite rightly happy with it. Let's take a look at the replay. Good degree of difficulty and well executed. Let's see how they rated it. The latest round gone, and that shows this athlete in 5th place. Well, we're on to the second dives then. There are elements of this dive that are going to be challenging, but overall, this is only a dive of medium difficulty. Well, that's a good takeoff from the platform. Great entry into the water. I think she'll be pleased with that. That's a decent dive. Let's see what the judges have got to say about that. So at the halfway mark in this, and lying one place off the top three, still plenty to play for, making the next round crucial for this athlete. Well, so far things have gone to plan in this competition. It's not been great, but it's certainly not been terrible. But executing a more difficult dive here could make the difference. Here's the replay. Well, the judges will have their say now. So after the first dive, this athlete's standing in 4th place. Has to have a good dive, has to look at the rating of difficulty. Interesting selection this, a middle of the pack dive in terms of difficulty. Will that be enough to keep them right there or thereabouts? Let's take a look at the replay. Good degree of difficulty and well executed. Well, that score won't move the athletes into the top three. Well, now it comes down to picking those more difficult dives as this competition goes on. The effort, the technique, the execution, all just a little bit off on this occasion, I'm afraid. No doubt there are a few nerves as the scores start to come in. This athlete underachieved here, so much potential, but when it came down to that big moment, maybe nerves played a part. You can see the disappointment. Nowhere near their best, that. This is the Olympic Stadium. Welcome. One of the most sustainable ever built. The lower bowl is set into the existing landscape, meaning less need for steel. These athletes so equally matched after a good qualifying session. Who those going to come out on top? Who's going to find the inspiration from this crowd? I'm sure their friends and family are nervous, but this athlete's relaxed and ready to go. Well, here we go in the first round of the javelin. This stadium eager to see what this athlete's got. That'll land over 80 metres, and that's a pleasing throw. He'll be over the moon with the start that he's made to this competition. All of the hard work in training has really paid off. Here we go again then. That's an impressive throw to land over 80 metres. Great stuff so far. Let's take a check on the scoreboard. First place, a stunning start to this competition, really laying down the benchmark for everyone else to follow. Fantastic release, and this looks long. Well, that's good technique, a good throw as well. Sprinting towards the line. Well, looks quick on the runway here. That's a good release. This is long. This is arcing out. Good performance, that. It's a great stadium. Will soon crown an Olympic champion. Here we go again then in round 5 of the javelin. Really good throw. Let's have a look at the scoreboard after that round, and it makes good reading. First place. Here he goes then, final attempt. Good pace on the runway.
Foul.
Well, if the hairs on the back of your neck aren't standing on end after that performance, you're not human. Quite simply, what a performance and what a celebration. A polished Polish performance, culminating in a thoroughly deserved gold medal. And it's silver for Great Britain, so close to that gold medal, but second place will have to do. And finishing in third, taking home bronze, Turkey. Well, this is the Olympic Stadium, and next a time to celebrate as they take to the podium. Magnificent performances rewarded with a medal. Never fails to bring a lump to my throat. The ecstasy of victory, rewarded with a medal, as they did traditionally at the Olympic Games. It really is what makes it so great. Another fantastic achievement. Let's have a glance at who's where in the overall medal tally. Next is the final of the women's 10-metre platform. The aquatic centre is absolutely full to the gunnels. The atmosphere's electric. Should be a great event. Let's take a check on the lineup. If only her mental strength was as good as her physical strength, well, she'd definitely be a medal contender then. However, she is a little weak in mind, and that's what's cost her at big events in the past. Execution is everything with this dive. Get it right and the points reward will be decent. I've got to be brutally honest, that looked more like a local leisure centre on a Saturday afternoon dive than one you'd expect to see at the Olympic Games. Needs to improve, and improve quickly. Well, how will the judges react to this one? Well, let's have another look at the scoreboard, and it confirms this athlete is in 8th place. Well, there's no doubt that this athlete can improve. Well, that's a good choice. Well, that was nice. I think that was all right. Still very much a work in progress, that last dive. Well, there's no doubts that that was a good dive, not quite in the excellent category at this point, but should score well here. So 7th place out of 8. It's not the best of reading for this athlete, but it's what the scoreboard's saying. It's the brutal truth, I'm afraid. Dive number 3, looking for redemption after that last effort. Looks a little bit nervous on the board, and the dive seemed to come from that. A few mistakes there. Here's the replay. It was an ambitious dive, but just not executed at all. And now it is over to the judges to get their view on this. Let's have a look at the scoreboard then after 3 rounds. Dive number 4 then. Interesting selection this, a middle-of-the-pack dive in terms of difficulty. Will that be enough to keep them right there or thereabouts? Well, that's good. That's very good. You can't expect anything else, though. Here's the replay. This is a really good dive. Technically, not much wrong with that last dive, and I'm sure the scores will reflect that. Well, not good routine, I'm afraid, and that's been shown up on the scoreboard. Wasn't particularly difficult, but not executed at all. Well, it's been a difficult campaign so far, and it hasn't really gone to plan. But this is one last chance to maybe go out with a flourish. Well, that was a poor dive from Poland, and there's no doubts that, in my mind, they can still improve in this competition and get themselves back in the picture. Well, low marks, difficulty taken out of the equation because of the incorrect dive. Acknowledging the crowd, but a disappointment in some respects. Well, here we go then, one last look at the standings, and Russia sit atop that podium. A gold medal for Russia, with Australia taking silver. 3rd for Japan, a bronze medal. Well, let's have a look at what that does to the medal table. So much excitement, so much anticipation for today's event. Really good performances. This is the aquatic centre for the qualifying rounds of the men's 100 metres freestyle. The experts will tell you that Poland are unlikely to finish in the top 3 in this event. However, this athlete has improved greatly in recent months. 2 lengths and about 50 seconds separates this athlete from Olympic glory. Back to the surface and we start to see the early leaders. Quarter of the way through this race and the early leaders emerge. 50 metres gone, 50 left, needs to find something. Good turn, good kick. China are in first place, France in second, Poland are in third place. The final part of this wonderful event as the world witnesses Olympic history in the making. Who's going to come out on top? First place for France and qualifying. China go through in second place. It's always a great feat to be able to complete a personal best. And I've got to say, that was very, very impressive. Let's bring you the result for the men's 100 metres freestyle final. That's a very impressive performance, and I think the nation will be pleased with the way that this athlete's shown at this Olympic Games. Somebody that's been able to raise their game to make it through to the Olympic final. This is the Olympic Stadium, and the next event is the 110 metres hurdles. This should be a cracking race. Team USA have dominated this event. On 8 occasions they've finished with gold, silver and bronze. However, Cuba and China have done well in the last 3 games. The lineup's on the blocks.
Set.
Great start. Race well underway now. Now the power comes in. 50 metres to go. France are in first place. Is now down to the line. Poland qualify in first place. France take second. And China take third. That sees them qualify. Lots to learn for this athlete for next time, I think. Pump of the fist in celebration, and quite rightly he gets the accolades of the crowd. Well, let's have another look then. A beautiful performance, this one, from start to finish. So graceful with every stride, quickly into rhythm, and then it was a case of powering through the closing stages, and that was perfect, almost perfect, brilliant. Let's get confirmation of the final standings. So qualification is something that's in the bag now with that first place finish. Here's the scoreboard. This is the final of the men's 100 metres freestyle. The experts will tell you that Poland are unlikely to finish in the top 3 in this event. However, this athlete has improved greatly in recent months. Showing real emotion before the start of this race. Silence descends. We're off and we're underway in the men's 100 metres freestyle final. At the quarter point, they emerge from the water and the early leaders show their heads. The early glimpses of the leaders as now they emerge from the water. not got the rhythm, but maybe that will change with the push at halfway. Out in front, China. In second, it's France. In third place, Poland. Now into the final 25 metres. The last few metres. Glory for France as they retain the title. China takes silver. Third place and a medal for the hosts, Great Britain, who finished third, bronze. Well, I know there'll be some disappointment shared by many on that performance. There were some signs of greatness, but it's not been achieved this time. Keep your eye on this athlete, though, for the future. I'm sure the best is still to come. France the winners. France take gold. France are the Olympic champions. With China taking silver, third place and a bronze medal for Great Britain. Well done. Let's round things up then with a quick glance at the medal table. This is the Olympic Stadium, and up next it's the 110 metres hurdles. The grace and style of these sprinters as they launch over those hurdles is always a sight to behold. Should be an exciting race, this. Team USA have dominated this event. On 8 occasions they've finished with gold, silver and bronze. However, Cuba and China have done well in the last 3 games. Well, if you're looking at past records, then he has everything that you need to suggest he'll go on to take gold in this event. There's just something about his performances that tell you he's ready now to become the next Olympic champion. And away they go, a good start across the board, working hard here. There's a real chance of creating history. That'll cost him time, hit that. Will there be any late drama? France take gold, a new Olympic champion. It's silver for China, bronze for Norway. Well, this athlete was there or thereabouts for this race, and you've got to say that when it came down to it, it was just that little bit of extra quality that wasn't there. France take gold. Well earned, well deserved. Congratulations. Not quite gold for China on this occasion, but a good performance and a silver medal. And in third place, Norway take bronze.
Third, Norway, with a time of 13.59.
Let's take a check on the medal table. Well, that concludes things for today. What an exciting time it's been. From Seth Bennett, we'll see you next time. Discus is an event that favours the older athlete. In fact, over the years, the majority of the champions have been over the age of 30. This is mainly down to the fact it's so difficult to master the technique of throwing a discus well. Every Olympics has a superstar, and there's every chance that this athlete could be the face of London 2012. runs over 60 metres, a terrific throw. Well, here's a summary after the first attempts.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Well, having gone through the mental process, this athlete is now ready to throw. They'll be happy with that.
Poland with a distance of 70.01 metres.
Well, after that round, this athlete, much to the crowd's delight, is in the lead.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
This is all about the speed across the circle before exploding to release from that right hand. Crowd responding to that.
Poland with a distance of
Halfway through then, and the scoreboard is a welcome sight for this athlete, proudly sitting on top of the leaderboard. Here we go with round number 4. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Poland with a distance of 6.34 metres.
Well, here's the scoreboard at the end of that round, and it shows first place.
The athlete from Poland.
Round number 5. Well, the crowd appreciate it, but I think he knows he can throw further. Let's have a look at the scoreboard at the end of that round and look at this lead. It really is commanding at this stage. One of the key things to the technique of throwing a discus is to impart as much spin on it as possible. The greater the spin, the greater the gyroscopic stability.
Foul.
Foul throw. But the Olympic Games is all about medals. A top 3 finish is what's needed to get one of those. Having safely negotiated qualification, now it goes on to the medal round. There's been some good performances today. Let's take a check on the final standings in the men's discus. Well, the scoreboard confirms it. First place, qualification. Next up, the final. Welcome to the Aquatic Centre. The first event, the women's qualifying rounds of the 50 metres freestyle. Germany have twice won gold in this event. China, the USA and the Netherlands have all finished on top of the podium. Well, they need to make it through qualifying if they're to achieve their ambitions of becoming Olympic champion. The silence before the storm. They need to get their heart rate down and compose themselves. No more false starts, please. Middle of the pack at the moment. Germany lead. France in second. Jamaica are in third place. A full stretch. Poland qualify in first place. Jamaica go through in second. So much you could say about this performance, but I'll leave it at this. Excellent. Great start, super middle, and a great surge towards the end. Technically, fantastic. Welcome to the Olympic Stadium. 80,000 people on hand here for the next event, and this really has been brought to life. The jewel of the Olympic crown. Team USA have enjoyed great success in this event over the years. However, Eastern Europe has certainly put the pressure on, with Germany, Lithuania and Estonia all taking medals. This athlete's had a great build-up to the games, and there's no reason why they can't push the envelope here. Does so many things right, this athlete. Can he put them all together in one throw? Well, that's a good first round. That's not a bad place to start. Let's have a look at the current scoreboard then after the first round.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
Off he goes in round number 2. Well, that's right up there with the best he's thrown so far.
With a distance of 53.77 meters.
Looking at the scoreboard, and a third position placing after that round is good news for this athlete.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
2 throws gone, now on to the third attempt. Puts pressure on the leaders with that attempt.
Poland with a distance of 58.6.
Happy with that, very happy with that. And as the scoreboard confirms, that will keep him very much in the mix.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
The nerves have gone now. Well, that one's high and it's long. All right, very average though.
9.02 meters.
It's a great stadium. Will soon crown an Olympic champion.
Next up, the competitor representing Poland.
Needs good technique to spin round in that circle before exploding into life and releasing the discus into the London air. He'll be happy with that.
Poland with a distance of 56.38 meters.
Well, let's have another look at the scoreboard, and third place after the latest round. That's a good performance.
Next, the athlete from Poland.
6 rounds then, and one of these athletes will be crowned the champion. Well, I think we're looking at a new Olympic champion here.
With a distance of 68.15 meters.
He's delighted with that. Let's take another look at this. Brilliant. The leaderboard doesn't lie. Let's take a look to see who's celebrating and who's commiserating. Finishing first, a gold medal for Poland. Close but no cigar for Denmark, who finish in second place. It's silver. So close for Spain, who finished third. That means a bronze medal.
China with a distance of 65.83 meters. Fifth, Hungary with a distance of 63.64 meters. Sixth.
Well, the crowd rise, they bounce in delight, because now we're going to have a medal ceremony. And you might see three big tough men, but this will be an emotional moment. There could well be tears here. So much emotion down there, so much happiness, all the hard work that these athletes put in, and you can't deny them that feeling of elation whilst on the podium. It's been brilliant once again and thoroughly deserving of these medals. Let's see who's won the medals then. This is the medal tally. This is the sprinters' equivalent of the 100 metres in swimming. 50 metres, one length of the pool. Here we go. The experts will tell you that Poland are unlikely to finish in the top three in this event. However, this athlete has improved greatly in recent months. The favourites for this event are all in the middle lanes. Well, she's bang up for this one, ready for action. Good start, absolutely essential. 50 metres freestyle for women, the final is underway. Big strokes required. In the lead, Norway. Second, it's Poland. Third place, France. Now reaching as they enter the final five. Poland take the gold medal. Well, let's have another look at that gold medal performance, leading from the front in this one. Really strong through the middle section of the race. Such great technique as well in slow motion. A really well-worthy winner of a gold medal. An electric atmosphere as we await another medal ceremony. It was a terrific event, and all three of those ladies should be proud of their efforts. Let's pause for a moment then for the national anthem. She sheds a few tears, quite rightly so. This is a huge moment in her career, and no doubt she can move on from here. This is a Games to remember, and certainly one that she can tell the grandkids about. Let's see who's got what then in terms of medals. This is the final tally. Well, that's the final event of that campaign, and that concludes the Olympics. And what an event it's been. From Seth Bennett, it's goodbye for now. For the moment, the flame continues to burn here at the Olympic Stadium in London, but it has been a quite terrific games. The performances have been every bit what you'd expect from the biggest show in the world of sport. So many iconic landmarks that have just become part and parcel of these games, and that's what London has really brought to the table. The flags wave in celebration after so many good performances. The athletes represented down on the trackside, the nations coming together as one for the last time at the 2012 Games. The city has hosted this magnificently, and this closing ceremony really does signify how the whole of the world has come together here. Many of these athletes will now be turning their attentions to the next time they get the chance to compete for an Olympic medal. The flags of the nations stretch out around the track. The Olympic rings link together at the centre of the stadium, the heart and soul of these games. For now, the lights burn brightly over the Olympic Stadium, as does the flame. The closing ceremony is well underway, and the celebrations are going to go deep into the London night. It really has been a fantastic Games. Thank you for joining us. From Seth Bennett and Alison Kirbishley, we'll see you next time.